Hey YouTube, how's it going? So just to let you know that also streaming live on Facebook. So Facebook, I'm on YouTube. YouTube, I'm on Facebook. So I kind of got a little stacking here of devices. So um, hey, it's Friday, and I always enjoy our Friday meetings here on our exercise lounges because actually a lot has happened over the week. So because of that, I have more things to talk about than normal. But today I'm going to keep it pretty straightforward. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my notes right now to make sure I cover everything that I wanted to. So, for those of you who are new here, the Exercise Lounge is just a place for us as a community to get together. And I do these on different platforms. So, every day of the week, and Fridays happens to be YouTube and Facebook Live. So, but the whole purpose of this is to get people to interact. YouTube, if you're on YouTube, you can come up live on Facebook. So, all of you on Facebook, you can ask to join live and I'll bring you up. And those on YouTube, we have to talk ahead of time if you want to be up here because I have to connect something else. I'm using OBS right now and I'm getting better at OBS. As you saw for those on YouTube, I had the beginning starting soon type of thing. So I'm getting better with the OBS software little by little. But yeah, if you're on YouTube right now, if you want to join me live to kind of add, because this is supposed to be interactive, Exercise Lounge is interactive. I talk about a thought of the day or a thought of what's been on my mind, and then we go into open Q&A, or we'll talk about my journey in exercise, and then we'll go into the community news. And at any point in time, you are allowed to jump up here and communicate with me, meaning add your 2 cents, contradict me, agree with me, whatever. Come up and have a new topic that you want to talk about that's on your mind. This, I'm just here to be the catalyst, and then eventually, as we get more people involved, I expect that they will join us in live and start talking. Now, um, I believe there's a chat function on YouTube, but I have to figure out how to do that with OBS, to be honest. And for those on Facebook, you can also type your 2 cents in there because I know some of you don't want to go live, so just typing it in there, and I can see your comments on both places. I may switch over. Let's see, is there a place? Okay, so there's a place over here that I can look to see real quick if there is um, a chat from YouTube. Maybe what I should do is have another device that can look at that. But anyways, um, so that's the Exercise Lounge. So let's just jump right into it and get our Friday started off. So, well, probably for you, it's already started. For me, it's already started too, but let's kick the Exercise Lounge off um, for real now. Let's get into the topic of what's on my mind. So, um, it's funny as I go through this. Let's say I'm going to adjust this here for YouTube. As I go through my journey of exercise and fitness and health, I do things a little differently than probably most individuals do. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit later on in today's episode. But the reactions I get are really interesting because it goes in many different directions. And it's kind of interesting because for me, I'm very, let's say, confident in my journey. I'm confident in my plan. And when you meet up or bump up against people who are not, it becomes interesting the conversations that you have. And over the last weekend, I was making a choice, and it was a healthy choice. I watched this guy on TikTok, and he was taking this sugar monitor on his arm, and he would eat different foods, and he would test the results of the spike in his blood sugar when he ate different foods, and to see the spike and then how long it came down. And one of the things that he found was with rice, if you eat it after you just cook it, your blood sugar goes whoosh and then comes down. But if you do this thing, I keep forgetting to look it up, but it's something with the starch that if you cool the rice for 24 hours and then eat it, your blood sugar doesn't spike as much. It doesn't go way up high. It's in a reasonable amount. So me, when I see these things out there, whether it comes from the community, I see it on TikTok, I read about it, I got to go test it for myself. So Friday, I was asked, or Saturday, I was asked, hey, do you want this rice? And I said, sure. And I took all the rice, put it in a bowl, put it in the fridge, and they're like, I thought you were going to eat that. And I said, I am, just not today. I'm going to let it cool because I heard blah, blah, blah. And they were like, okay, that's kind of weird. Fast forward to the next day, we had a little campfire, and the family got around, and as I was sitting there, they were doing s'mores, and it was asked, like, am I going to have s'mores? And I said yes. Now the same individual was like, wait, so the other day you were making some weird choices to be healthy, and today you're going to eat s'mores? Like, how are you on a diet? And I laugh at these things because I'm not on a diet. I am being healthier. I'm doing things to increase my fitness over time, and I don't necessarily think about this one moment in time. Well, I do think about it. I do think to myself, in this moment of time, if I make this decision, will I sacrifice the progress? Will I deter my progress overall? And if the answer is no, then I'm gonna do it. And so, and unless it becomes a habit, I'm going to do that. So it's just very interesting because the people don't understand what I'm doing, and that's okay because what I understand are the fundamentals and the base, not the basics, but and not even the fundamentals. Like, these are truths in your health and fitness, and so I'm so confident in those that I can make these decisions. And what people don't understand is, or a lot of people, I should say, I shouldn't say everybody, or generally speaking, a lot of people, when they want to change their health and fitness, they go on strict diets. They go on these, like, they have to do things perfectly. Whatever they chose to follow or do, that's what they focus on, and they find a plan, and then they have to stick to that plan no matter what, and they have to be perfect. And I'm the opposite. I don't follow a plan necessarily. I follow a plan that fits me. And when you do that, you're more in control. So when I go into a situation like, hey, am I going to have those s'mores? I have to make a choice still. Everybody has to make a choice what they're going to do. But I can almost guarantee everybody at that campfire that is thinking about health and fitness, they're in turmoil if they're trying to be on a diet, whether or not they should eat that s'mores. And if they do, they're in more turmoil, regretting the decision. Whereas me, I'm liberated to walk into that situation and be like, yeah, I'm going to have these s'mores. No big deal. And I quickly just, run through a few questions for myself. And then that's it. I made the decision, and there's no regret. And it's just funny because people don't understand that type. But what's even more fun is when you go into another situation and somebody says, oh, it looks like you lost weight, and or you look good. Like the other day I was talking to my grandmother, and she saw me, and it's been maybe a couple weeks, and she says, wow, you're looking really good. and my grandmother's Italian, so Sicilian, and so uh, you have to, if you're too skinny, that's not good. The more plump you are, the better. But she knew where I was um, before, and so I think she likes this happy medium because in my past, I used to be like a twig, and now I'm much healthier, and I look healthier, and that's important. And then when these other individuals who are judging your health and fitness journey, um, they don't see the changes, but other people will, and they bring it up, and then then it becomes this conversation, right? And this is so exciting for me because uh, this is how people think. This is how it evolves, and then they become, hey, oh, yeah, he's losing weight because he can eat whatever. Yeah, he can go eat those s'mores because he's genetically built different. He can go do this. He can do whatever he wants. He can eat whatever he wants and get away with it. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Actually, in fact, if you go back to my history, you can see my weight fluctuate. And I wish that was the case. I wish I could say, yeah, I could eat whatever I want without repercussions of gaining weight or health issues. But that's not true. And so it just becomes these interesting. My journey in the last since 2015 has been a very interesting one, and and people just don't understand how I do things, and it's the better way. I'm telling you, it's the better way. Like, you can make healthy choices 99% of the time and be off 1%, or even um, a more percentage making bad decisions. I say quote unquote bad, like free decisions. Yes, eating s'mores is not healthy at all, and eating s'mores can have an impact, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't have an impact. Like, and that's where I kind of look at the short term and the long term and say, what do I need to do if I'm going to eat these? Do I need to go and compensate for this? And this is the other thing. When you're in control, you just go over there. Other people are like, oh my gosh. And isn't this true? Like, once you're so strict, like, as soon as you break your habit, your pattern, once you veer off that schedule or whatever it is that you're following, most likely then you start giving up more and more, and then you're back to where you started because you are trying to be strict and perfect, and you don't have to be, because the more you try to be strict and perfect, which we know we cannot be, and why try to be? I mean, we want to aim for perfect. We have that image of being perfect, but the more we fight for being perfect, once something imperfect comes up, it gets highlighted, right? And we exaggerate it. Whereas me, I'm like in so much control right now. It's just very interesting, and so going through my journey, people don't understand because what they see me doing doesn't seem like I'm doing anything. And that's the secret. That's the secret sauce to all this, is people don't even see what I'm doing. I put a post out there, short, on how you can lose 4 pounds with 1/8 of a teaspoon. And I guess the title should have been like how to save yourself 4 pounds in the long run, because 1/8 of a teaspoon isn't much, and 4 pounds over 20 years that you would gain by having that, just having the same amount of sugar that you have in your coffee, let's say, that can actually, 4 pounds, we say, oh, that's not a big deal. But if you were to fast forward to a lot of people in the future, say in their 60s, 70s, even 50s and 40s, and say, hey, um, maybe 40s is a little too early, but just, or maybe even 30s, even in that time, and just say, hey, if I saved you 4 pounds today, would you do, if I could snap my fingers and take away 4 pounds from you, would you do it? Most people would say yes. And but they don't understand, like, it's just the small changes. And then if you stack them, what if you did to 1/8 of a teaspoon? Or what if you did that with your sugar or your cream? Or what if you reduced a little bit of the coffee that you have? Instead of a full cup, maybe go to 3/4 of a cup. What change would that have? Now, to everybody else, they're looking at your coffee and they're like, oh, you're still drinking cream and sugar in your coffee. Yet you are making a healthier decision. You are making a healthier choice. And that's a big difference, right? And people don't see that. And so they think you're just being normal, but in the background, you're making these small changes that are manageable, and you get used to them. They become habits, and then you don't even think about it anymore. And then you go to the next level, right? But to everybody else, they're like, oh, for me, it's ice cream. People see me eat ice cream, especially during the summer, and they're like, oh, you're not being healthy and fit because you're eating ice cream. I can't say no to ice cream. I don't want to say no to ice cream. And that's just part of my plan, my understanding of who I am, what I want to be, and I made that choice. And so, but what I've done instead is whenever I got ice cream, like go to a place to get ice cream out with the family, then I would always get the largest whatever they had. If they had extra large scoop, I would get the extra large scoop. I just made a slight change. Instead of getting the large, I go to medium and small. And for everybody else, they're like, oh, he's still eating ice cream. They probably assume that I've already eaten 4 scoops already. But and because I eat ice cream pretty fast because I like it so much. But when they see my ice cream, they're like, oh, he's still eating ice cream. How's he going to lose weight? Well, going from a large to a medium or even a small on occasion has ramifications. It makes a difference. And you may not see it now. You may not see it next month, but you're going to see it over time. And for me, it's not a big deal because I'm still getting the ice cream. And I'm still getting that satisfaction. I'm going to give you a little tip very soon. But yeah, that's being strict and perfect. I feel, I mean, some people do have that iron will. They can go out there, they can be like, oh yeah, I'm not having ice cream. That's it. I've decided I'm not doing it. And if you're like that, that's great. That's wonderful. Congratulations to you. A lot of us cannot do that or don't want to do that. Or even if we tried, we know that we end up back to where we were because we have not built in a habit. And the secret to habit building is to make such a slight change, but it's a change that you can tolerate very easily and then adapt to it and then make a small change. It's just like everything else out there. Like you don't go from 0 to 100. You try to go to 0 to 100, but usually that fails. Like you can't go from being overweight and never and being a couch potato to going out there in the same day running, deciding today you're going to go run a marathon at 6-minute pace. 6 minute per mile for the entire marathon. It just doesn't work. It takes gradual improvement, gradual changes. You got to, get out there and run 1 mile, get out there and run 2. Then once you get to a certain distance, then you can go faster, or maybe you want to go faster, but with weight, it probably makes sense to go get that endurance up there and shed some of those pounds. But it's a gradual change. You just don't go out there and try first day running a 6-minute mile for a marathon. There's a gradual change that you got to make your body go through in order to adapt along the way to you get to the 6-minute mile. And that's no different with nutrition or anything else. You got to trick your body, trick your brain, trick your mind to going small and taking small incremental changes that over time make a difference. Again, but a lot of people are going to question you, and that's where you can be solid and be confident in what you do and not have to be so strict and perfect. Because I'm guessing that if you're listening to me right now and you've stuck with me, you've in the past tried that. You've tried to be strict. And the more strict you were, as soon as you deviated, you're like, this stuff doesn't work. This doesn't, this is just not reasonable. I can't eat like a rabbit. I can't exercise like, uh, a professional athlete. And you're right. You don't necessarily need to do those things. If you want to eat like a rabbit, gradually go to eating like a rabbit. Um, and when I say rabbit, I mean like some people go to extremes. I'm not talking about vegan or the type of diet you're using. I'm talking some people starve themselves. Some people, you will just eat celery or whatever. There's some weird things out there that people do to lose weight, and it's really unhealthy. And they're so extreme and strict, and in the end, they know they can't sustain it. So when they go from eating celery sticks for the rest of their lives is what they should be doing to get the results and keep the results that they got, that they liked, that they were aiming for. Because let's say they wanted to lose 10 pounds and they did that only eating celery sticks. One, it's not healthy from a whole nutrition perspective and for your body. But even if they got to the weight, in order to maintain that, they have to eat the celery sticks forever. That's just the way their life has to be. They didn't get there. I mean, they're going to, if they stop eating this or they just go back to the way they were, they're going to gain the weight. The only way, and this is the secret, right? And this is where things really get interesting. And this is where I found and am going to be delivering to everybody a solution. There is a way to eat those celery sticks, although not healthy, and I would never personally promote that. But there is a way to eat the celery sticks and do it lifelong. But there's a method to it. There's a way to do it. And again, I would never suggest just eating celery sticks. But there is a way to do it. But you have to understand the essence of health and fitness. And so what's interesting to me is that there's a lot of fluff out there, and what I've done in my journey since 2015 is scrape off all the fluff. And well, I should say I tried something one other time in 2017 that changed a lot of things that I had for a mindset, but still wasn't realistic. But then from there, I removed a lot of fluff and went down to what I could find. And then later on, I add in the fluff. So if I want to eat the celery sticks, if I want to do fat, like right now, I'm trying a morning fast. I'm experimenting. I don't need to do it. I don't have to do it. I'm experimenting. I'm so confident in the health and fitness items that people need to know and should know that's not out there, that I'm so confident in that adding the fluff on and trying these different things is a no-brainer for me. It's just fun. It adds a journey, an exciting journey to what I'm doing. And let's see what happens. And if I don't like it, I switch back to what I was doing before, and I can keep doing these things. And it's pretty exciting. And so at this point, you know what? So that's strict and perfect. I'm going to get into something a little bit very soon, but so at this point, we'll open it up for Q&A. Again, you can jump on Facebook, because I got Facebook Live up here. You can jump up on Facebook Live and join the conversation there if you want to jump up live. I can't do that here on YouTube yet until I figure out a few things. I think I have to do it on Zoom or something. But feel free to, actually, let me check the chat real quick. Nobody chatted anything. Facebook, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and feel free to chat with me there. But you can come up live too and add to being strict and perfect, or you can jump up here and ask me a question. And if I don't have the answer, then I'll reach out to the community and provide that answer to, or get that answer and provide it to you. Or at least I'll line you up with somebody who may be on the same journey, because it's so much easier and more accomplishable to reach your goal of whatever you're trying to figure out if you have somebody who you can relate with and bounce ideas off. And that's why I love communities. that's why I love what I'm doing. Like, maybe somebody wants to understand what, you know, before, for instance, morning fasting. Um, a lot of people may be trying that and want to know what my experience is. I can share that because now I'm going through it, and I can tell you what I feel, what choices I'm making, why I made the choice, and that can help somebody in their journey. Just knowing that. And that's why I want the community to get up in here in these videos and interact, because then we can start sharing and I can start interacting and connecting people. And that's the whole point of the Exercise Lounge. But while I wait for people to either type in their questions, jump up live, I'll go into community news. So we still have our August event, which is Eat My Dust August. Unfortunately, I mean, you could still register for the challenge that we've put out there for August, which is choose exercise 7 days within August. You know, you can still register for that. We also have here actually TikTok events, YouTube. Here's the link you can go to in order to go to the events, and you'll see that we have 3 types of events. We have, so for those on Facebook, it's nftathletic.community.com, and you can go to our events tab or go to just follow that our URL with /NAC-events. But there's 3 options there. You can join our running events, which has the 5K, 10K, half and full marathon. You can join our exercise event, which is choose any event, any exercise, and do that for 30 minutes, or jump in our challenge, which is 7 days within the month of August. You can do any type of exercise, but do it for 30 minutes, and that's the challenge for this month. But that's going to end. We also have our assessment. So for YouTube, here you are. Here's the URL for that. For Facebook, it's nftathletic.community.com /assessment. And if you go to our website, you can see Start Our Journey here. Down, you'll see free assessment there. That's our free health and fitness assessment. You take that, and then we're going to send you back free a plan that's fit for you. And then we're going to take 30 minutes, whether it be a Zoom call or a phone call, and connect with you so that we can go over that plan with you to solidify that. That ends this month. After the end of this month, we won't be doing that, but I'm going to tell you why. Something's coming up in September. But before I get to what's coming up in September, we have our podcast. So we now have 3 things on our podcast. One of them's put on hold. We have our show, which is like the main event where we do some education. We have some guests that come up, and we're going to be doing some games and things like that. We haven't done that in a while. We're going to bring that back very soon after I tell you what we're doing in September. But just know that happens like once a month. Then every week, I will put on the weekend, I'm going to choose the best exercise lounge, because we do this on different platforms. I'm going to choose the best session that we have, and then I put it on our podcast, and that comes out on the weekend. So if you missed our exercise lounge or want to hear the best one, you can listen to that on our podcast. Now, our podcast is broadcasted everywhere. So because we use Anchor, so it kind of pushes out to all these different places. If you don't see us on the podcast that you like, please let me know, and I'll get us connected to that and upload those there as well. But yeah, essentially, you will see that we will have the best there. And then we now have something called the 5-minute break for your workday. This is Monday through Friday. I do fall behind a little bit, so I would let some of them accumulate to make up. I do make them up over time. Like last night at midnight, I put 2 of them out there because I missed the day before and yesterday. And I believe today I'm going to be a little delayed on this one. So I let them kind of span out a little bit. But what this is meant to be is like whatever you're doing during your break for work, take 5 minutes and do this. Sorry, excuse me. Now I'm yawning. Take 5 minutes. It's a quick way to gain. I need to do it right now. It's a quick way to grab some energy, get some air going and flowing, really get moving, and also to refocus for your day. So it's just a good way to break up your day and refocus and get energized to take it on. So I really enjoy doing these because they're fun, they're quick, and it's just 5 minutes, and you get a lot of benefit from it, in my opinion. So check out a few of them. I'm a little rough because I'm not really structured in it. I'm kind of feeling it out. If you know me, the way I approach things is I kind of just do something and feel it out, and then eventually it becomes a little bit more structured. Like here I am on OBS, doing a little bit more structured and a little bit more fun, but I got to test it out and feel it. So I'm a little rough when I'm talking in those, but the essence is there and you still will get the benefit. I promise you that. And so you can find that Monday through Friday. So pretty much every day almost you'll have a new podcast. And how do you find us? We're just in our name, NFT Athletic Community. And that's how you find us on the different podcasts. I know we're on Spotify. I know we're on Apple Podcasts. I think there's a Google one. There's a couple of others out there as well that you can listen to, and we're there. Why do I skip my accountability and I keep talking about the assessment going away? September is going to be big. I've been preparing daily as much as I can, pouring my heart, my time into this challenge that's coming up. There's going to be a challenge. It's going to be 4 days. And in those 4 days, I'm going to teach you what I know and about health and fitness. And this is going to change your life. I mean, I can't even explain it. Well, I can now because I've been thinking about it a lot and just been immersed in it and trying to make sure it's going to be great. It's going to come out at the end of September, early October, because I'm trying to make it really good. And I want the first session to be really good. So it's a 4-day challenge. It's going to be anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the interaction and everything that we get. But it's going to be live in my hometown, and we're going to be broadcasting it online. And it's meant for busy parents. I'm a parent. I've been through a journey that most of you can relate with, and I'll talk about more about that later. But if you want the results that I'm getting, this confidence that I have, this energy that I get, actually, I need to take a drink of water. Speaking of energy, all this stuff that I've been talking about, if you watch my history, you're going to see I'm in a different place now. And I've learned a lot in the last 7 years that I can take to anybody and teach them what I'm doing to unlock your personal plan. Because a lot of people are going to look at me and say, hey, Angelo, yeah, great. Whatever you're doing, that works for you, but it won't work for me. I've tried everything. I know you've tried everything. I've tried everything. You can even see it. I've done P90X. I've taken Tony Robbins programs. I've done running and become a madman in running. But all this stuff that we do doesn't work. It doesn't, well, it can work, but all this stuff didn't work for me. And I'm sure you're doing a lot of things that didn't work for you. And finally finding something that resonates with you, that works for you, is what I'm aiming to do. Because my plan, you're right, will not work for you. My plan won't work for somebody else. It may work for somebody else out there, but it may not work exactly like that. But what I found out, what I discovered in the last 7 years, is the way to unlock your plan. All of us have an individual plan that's got a combination lock attached to it. I have the tools to show you how to figure out what the combination is to get to your plan and to sustain a healthy lifestyle over the long run, short run, whatever it is that you want to do. And it's easy, and you're going to gain energy. You're going to gain that confidence that I had going into that, into the campfire we had in eating those s'mores. You're going to have the control to be able to do that, and having that stuff in the consistency. That's the major thing, right? We get into all these things and then we become inconsistent. And that's because these other programs don't work. They're missing a key component that you need. And I have that. I have those keys. And so in 4 days, in 30 minutes to an hour, on 4 days in September, I'm going to give you those keys. I'm going to hand them to you, and it's free. So it's a free 4-day seminar, and it's interactive. It's going to be, I'm going to start installing habits in you, small ones that you can do today that just simply is just like that. And you don't think that's big? That is huge. That is huge. And I'm going to explain all this to you in the 4-day seminar, and it's free. So invite your friends or get them prepared. I don't have the exact dates yet. I'm trying to lock it down with the location and everything, but I'm telling you, I'm working hard for this. I'm rehearsing. I'm really making sure that I deliver to you all the keys. I don't want to miss a thing. I want to deliver as much as I can in those 4 days, in that short amount of time, to change your life. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, it's going to be called Busy Parents Health and Fitness Kickstart Challenge. Now, that's what we're focused on, because we know now during school people are going to be going crazy and everything. I'm a parent, so I can relate well to parents. This is going to work for the stay-at-home parent as well as the one that goes out there and works. It doesn't matter. This will work for them. That's who we're really pointing this towards, just because I can relate to their stories. I can relate to a busy worker who's not necessarily a parent. I can help you with this as well, but our main focus is the parents. So don't think just because we're focused on parents that you can't jump in. But our focus is really, helping parents out in this navigation. And it doesn't matter where in the cycle you are as a parent. You could be about to have a child. You could be just delivered a child, and it could be after you've had some children. It doesn't matter. Our keys that we're going to give you are going to work no matter what. And why is that? Because there's a golden nugget here. The golden nugget is what I'm going to teach you can actually be taught it can be applied anywhere. For instance, today I talked about strict and perfect. Trying to be strict and perfect is counterproductive, right? Being counterproductive really in that instance can strict and perfect can be counterproductive, because in the end you end up making more mistakes, or you start fumbling, or but isn't that true with everything? If you try to be the perfect parent, it's not going to happen. We aim for this image of what a perfect parent is, but trying to aim for it sets us up for disappointment, or expecting us to be a perfect person is setting us up for failure. Progress, improvement towards that is what we want to aim for. We want to aim for the progress towards that. And if we get there, then we up that, right? We up that image, and then we try to aim for that. But we're never perfect. We can always improve. So we want to focus more on the journey, the process, the improvement on the way there, not being perfect. Because then as things happen, we now are more in control. We're not out of control because we expected this, but we got this. Now, when we expect something to go wrong, we can adapt. We can take it in and be like, okay, what happened here? Let me fix it, or let me adapt or change. So when you are out there, you can apply this to anywhere. It could be your work, your job. You need to be able to make mistakes. It could be your friendships. You need to make mistakes with your friends. It's going to happen. You're gonna say something dumb at one point in time. You're gonna misinterpret what they said and say this when you should have said that. And so all the things that I teach you, there's a golden nugget there because you can apply these to the different parts of your life, and that's why I know this stuff works. That's why I know you're going to succeed. And once I show you what I have, it's going to blow you away. It's not eye-opening necessarily. Like, it's not like, oh my gosh, I never knew this. It's like, oh my gosh, now I know how to use this. I know how to use this to my benefit. And then it's just so clear. It's like you have this cloud. You're walking through this cloud and poof, I just made it magically disappear. It was like you were sleeping and then I woke you up and you're like, oh, that makes total sense. Oh, that makes total sense. Oh, that's how we need to do it. And that's what I'm going to do in 4 days for you. I'm going to go through that and you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. And then when you see how you figure out the combination and it unlocks and you look at your plan, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like that makes so much sense. Then we can take the other things and test and experiment and have fun because we know how it interacts with our plan. And then we can play. We can take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that. We can try this, try that. And you're still going to be like, oh, well, this experiment didn't work. I'm okay with that. I go over here and try this instead, or go back to what I was doing before and do a little bit more research. That's why I experiment and have so much fun. That's why I have energy. More energy is because I'm trying different things and I'm like, ooh, that worked for me. That didn't work for me. Oh, this vegan diet thing, let me go try what this thing does and see what that's all about. And see, okay, I research it and I put it in here in my plan and sprinkle this in my plan. Oh, this has got to go. This is not going to work for me. I'm not willing to give that up. So maybe I'm not vegan anymore, but I'm more vegan like, right? And we're always trying to do like this perfect picture, like I'm either vegan, I'm vegetarian, I'm whatever, and that gets us in trouble. Instead, we're like, this is who I am. I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and yep, I'm gonna have that ice cream. Where does that fall into place? I don't care if it's called, I don't care what people label it. I don't care if they label it vegan. I don't care if they label it vegetarian. What I care about, does it work for me? And does it fit with me? And does it resonate with me? Does it fit part of my plan? And if it does, how do I use that? Or do I need to temporarily give it up and then take it back in? Maybe I need a jump start. Like, all this stuff sounds confusing, but I'm telling you, in 4 days, I'm going to organize it and put it in a place, and you're going to be like, light bulb, I got this. And then you're going to see how you're going to sustain your lifestyle for a lifetime, for the rest of your life. And it's amazing. It's such a great feeling. I've had this stuff in my mind. Now I've been able to articulate it, put it together. I'm a little clumsy when it comes to talking, I'll admit. I stutter a lot and, kind of go off on tangents, but overall, my message is I've been able to put it all together and deliver it now in confidence that I know I can change your life. I'm without a shadow of a doubt. And it will be the best 2 to 4 hours of your life that you'll spend, because this will help you for the rest of your journey. So that's coming. So get ready. I can't wait. I'm so excited every day. My mind is just thinking about it 24/7. It should probably be thinking of other things, but I'm here to deliver this to you finally. And I can't wait. So let me jump off topic. Sorry, enough of the challenge. I'm just super excited about it. If you can't tell, I'm probably going to talk about it once a week with you on the Exercise Lounge because I'm just super excited about it. And I don't want you to forget about it. Let's talk about the Exercise Lounge. So we do this every day, Monday through Friday, and it's a live session somewhere. And it's here on Fridays. It's Facebook and YouTube. Sorry if I keep switching up and down in my eyes. Maybe I need to work on the difference there. I may move one of these because too many. I want to look directly at you because I'm really wanting to talk to you. And if I'm like this, I understand. Again, tangents, improvements coming. But I may move one of these to Tuesday. I'll tell you why in a moment. I try to mix up audio with visual, and Fridays are usually two visuals, which makes it a little bit hard. But anyways, on Fridays, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern, currently, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. And then fast forward to Mondays, I'm on Instagram, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern. Tuesdays, I'm on Wisdom, and that's 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern. That's the one I may move one of these to that day. And then Wednesdays, I'm on Clubhouse and Twitch. And on Thursdays, I'm on TikTok and Twitter. And so you can see most of the days I have either an audio or video or just video. So I think if I move one of these platforms to Tuesday with Wisdom, which is just an audio app, that might make a difference. So I may move Facebook over to Tuesdays. I'm not sure. We'll see. But that's it. If you want to know what we've got going on, you can go to our website, nftathleticcommunity.com, and then under Start Your Journey here, you'll see our community calendar. That will tell you where we are, when it's happening, if I have any links, or if it's live in person, and you can just join us whenever you can. So let's say you missed this one, but you really want to join our open Q&A. Feel free to jump on there and interact with us on a day that works for you on a different platform, or just listen to the replay on one of the podcast platforms you like, and then just reach out to us and start conversations. I love talking, as you can see, and I can talk forever. So yeah, don't feel afraid to reach out, and I will try to get you an answer as quickly as possible. And yeah, with that, I hope you have, let me go check real quick. No comments yet. So with that, I will leave you for the rest of the day, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope your health and fitness journey is going well. Reach out if you have any questions. We're here to help you, and jump into either our Facebook group, NFT Athletic Community. We have our global community. Also, we're on Discord. I'll put all these up later maybe. And then we're on all the other popular platforms. So with that, have a good weekend, and I'll